Welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Fob Fan 101, with my good friends and co-host Christian, aka Savage NASCAR,
What do Nasboys crew?
and Cam, aka Noticed_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So, one thing before we get started with tonight's episode, obviously, you guys might have noticed we did a little bit of rebranding. We have a new logo and a new channel motto. The new logo, we all just kind of felt like, look, we've been at it for 3 seasons. It's time for a change. So we just decided, why not go ahead, change up the logo. Hopefully you guys like it. But one thing that we have gotten a little bit of questions about, whether people are vocalizing it or not, is about the new channel motto, make NASCAR fun again. So here to explain it is Cam, who came up with the motto, and we all three agreed with it because we liked the meaning behind it.
So we all see how it could be a little misinterpreted. So the meaning behind it, in our opinion, and the reason that we said it was because we want to find a way where we go with the algorithm, but really kind of set with trends. And, we want to bring people to NASCAR, right? This is a sport that we all know and love. This is our home base, and we want people to be more involved in it, right? The more people, the better it is. That makes it more fun. That's more people to talk to. That's always a big motto for us, right? So because of that, we wanted to eventually kind of put trends into it a little bit and, make it fun for those people that don't view it as fun, that view it, as sad to say, some people do just view it as cars going in circles, So, that's kind of our motto of bringing out and just saying like, hey, like for those who doesn't think it's fun and the people that don't like stuff like this, let's try to make it fun for them.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard it, obviously I was thinking, okay, this is cool, but people are going to think that we're bashing NASCAR, which, like Cam is saying, we're not trying to intend to bash NASCAR. All three of us love NASCAR. We don't want to bash it whatsoever, unless when they do something stupid like the safety regulations. But otherwise, no. We love NASCAR and we just want to bring it to more people. And we're going to try to find ways that we can bring it to people behind the scenes. So anyway, let's get down to tonight's episode. So let's get started with the Xfinity race. I'm going to go first because why not? I thought the race was pretty interesting. There were a couple of crashes to note, like, for example, Gray Gaulding. His tire kind of blew up a little bit. There was also a wreck with Sammy Smith with about 17 to go. Here's that as well.
He's there. He's going to want to clear. He's going to try to get his quarter panel. He got a
Sandy Smith around. Dang, that's a shame. He's having a really good night.
Well, he just kind of got loose. Nothing really to say there. He just kind of got loose, and then Austin Hill just finished him off. But yeah, congratulations to John Hunter Nemechek. He looked really good in this race. Austin Hill, he also looked pretty solid as per usual. Allgaier and Mayer, the two JRM cars, looked good. Brandon Jones. So overall, pretty decent race, I'd say.
So, my thoughts on the Xfinity race. No, I'm just playing. It wasn't bad at all. So, thoughts on it, it was a pretty casual Xfinity Series race. There wasn't anything crazy, but we did see a lot of lead changes. And the crazy moment was when Sheldon Creed spun and almost hit the inside wall on the backstretch. It gave me Bobby Labonte in 2010 vibes.
Next picked up a... around goes Bobby Labonte!
Oh, no.
Missed it by that much!
Wow. Nothing. Attaboy. Good save, bud.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
He didn't entirely save it, but it still could have been way worse. My pick, Austin Hill, was up front most of the race. He ended up finishing 6th, if I'm correct, but couldn't get the job done. There's a lot of junior motorsports drivers up there. We saw Justin Allgaier contend for the win again. We saw Sam Mayer up there as well. Cole Custer was running up towards the front. Chandler Smith finished in the top 10 for colleague racing, but the winner on Sunday night was John Hunter Nemechek. Am I surprised? No. There was actually a good bit of Cup drivers in this race. We saw Austin Dillon in it, and if I'm correct, he did lead some laps in this race. Chastain was also in this race. He didn't do that well. There was a couple other ones that ran the double. If I were to give this race a 1 out of 10, I would give it a 5.
Yeah, I thought it was an okay race as well. I'd also like to add that I don't know if I've said this before yet or not, but I'm super excited to see Nemechek up in Xfinity. I think he has a lot. I think there's some stuff that he still has to learn, but I'm really
Right.
excited how talent he has. And I would not be surprised if he's in the Cup Series sooner than later. And as that, I also want to say I just thought, yeah, the race is good. There was a few more crashes than I was expecting, but still a pretty good race.
Yep. Definitely got to agree with you there, Cam. And, I noticed he's kind of like Kyle Busch in a sense because he finished second in the Xfinity Daytona race. Kyle Busch nearly won the race. He just won the second race of the season. Kyle Busch won the second race of the season. So maybe John Hunter Nemechek is on that path to winning a championship as well. But I don't know. I could just be looking into things. Wouldn't shock me if he won. John Hunter Nemechek's a very good driver. So we'll see what goes on with that.
Yeah.
Taking a look at what you guys had to say. 20% of people said great, 60% said good, 20% said Mesh okay, nobody said bad. No thoughts, no driver of the day. I'm gonna have to give it to John Hunter Nemechek, though Sheldon Creed really impressed me with him saving the car by nearly going into the inside wall.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it to Nemechek. He put up a really good performance today.
And now for the Cup race. What did you guys think of it?
We saw how strong Kyle Busch was at Daytona, considering all he came back from, and he is looking like he could win a lot of races this year. I mean, yeah, he won today at Auto Club, and he wasn't the most dominant car. That goes to my boy Ross Chastain. He led the most laps, but Kyle Busch, he's always been solid at Auto Club. I'm sure we all remember that one finish in 2013 where he came out of nowhere and passed Hamlin and Logano there on the final lap.
They're going to settle this right now.
Whoa, Hamlin cut him some slack. He had a run on him. Oh, Hamlin, Joey got loose. He got a little sideways off the floor.
There you go.
Hamlin gave him a shot. Oh,
Outside, barely outside.
no! Hamlin there. Logano to the bottom, trying to hold his ground.
That's going to be tough, though. But he's been running good on the bottom. If he can just clear Hamlin right there. No way. He's going to lose his momentum. They're going to touch hard. Are they going to make it?
Neck and neck.
Side by side.
Kyle Busch closing in.
Watch out for that third-place car, Kyle Busch. He's looking.
Hamlin edges ahead. They touch. They touch, and here comes Kyle. Hamlin, Logano on the wall. Hamlin spins down the racetrack, and Kyle Busch wins in California.
I thought they'd be nice to each other. They weren't.
But yeah, this is definitely one of his best tracks. Even in Xfinity, he's won in Xfinity at this track. So I don't know why I didn't have him in my fantasy lineup today. I think it's probably because he started a little bit farther back. I don't remember, but I thought it was a really solid race. It is sad to see this current layout go. As y'all know, that they are going to have a different layout in future for this track, and pretty cool to see some snow. What do y'all think about that snow going on up there? And yeah, they had to move the Xfinity race because of it.
Yeah, I thought the snow was definitely a little wild for sure. And then talking about the Cup race, it was very competitive. I was actually really excited. I felt like at one time, there was only cars like 10 seconds off of each other. It was great. I kind of felt like there was never one where it was just the leader was running the show completely for 20 plus minutes straight. I thought it was a really good race overall. Congrats to Kyle Busch. I know he has a new record, and I think what is it? Is it 19 seasons?
Yes,
He passed Richard Petty.
Yeah, he's passed Richard Petty where he's gotten at least a Cup win in each season. So congrats to Kyle Busch. That's great goal to reach. So, once again, just proving that he is one of the best drivers in the Cup Series today. So, congrats to him. What do you think, Mike?
I thought it was a pretty solid race. We saw Chastain pretty much do really good the whole race. I think he dominated a lot of it. I don't really know how many laps he led, but he was in the top 5 pretty much the whole day and then just kind of fell off toward the end. Kyle Busch, though, was just really strong as well all day. He wasn't as strong as Chastain, but he definitely came to play when it mattered the most. He had a good strategy as well. with his
Mhm.
with pitting, and he overall just went up to the front. And I just got a feeling that Kyle Busch is going to be the champ this year. I don't know what it is, but I have a very strong feeling that he's going to win. I had him as my pre-race prediction. If anybody did not remember, I did have him as my pre-race prediction, or preseason, excuse me. But just for some reason, I just get this feeling that he's going to win. He looks really, really strong 2 races into the season, but it's obviously a long season, about 34 races to go. So we'll have to see what happens with him, but it's looking really good.
Yeah, I mean, you have a fair point there, Mike. Just one thing I want to point out real quick for Kyle Busch. This is his first win since 2007 in a Chevy, actually. And in 2008, when he joined Joe Gibbs, he had an incredible season. I'm pretty sure he won like 8 races that year. And he's really strong up until the playoffs or the chase, which is now the playoffs. And he fumbled the bag. So I don't see him win the championship this year, in my opinion. I think he'll win races, but I don't think he would just be able to get the job done. Going to a new team and winning the championship is just very hard to do now.
Right.
To be fair, he did lead 27 lap days, 5th win at the track. And yeah, he does look pretty strong, but it's crazy. Chevy swept the top 4 positions. We had Chase Elliott finish second. We had Chastain finished 3rd and Sparks finished 4th. So, it was pretty interesting race to say the least. That's just a little bit more I wanted to add.
Right. I mean, I see your point there, Christian, but just something's telling me he might win the championship, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does fall off a little bit, judging by that point. Some other points, Joe Logano, he did really well. He led some laps, made it 3 wide in the beginning. That was a little wild. Let's see. Bubba Wallace, he had an engine issue late, and then he had to get out of the race. Kyle Larson basically was out of contention because of a electrical problem or something like that. I think he finished 20-something laps down.
He finished, he finished almost in last. He was last at one point, so I had to move him out of my starters and put him in the garage on my fantasy lineup. I had Blaney. I had Blaney in my garage and I moved him up, but right when I moved him up, he got wrecked in that wreck.
I was going to say that. Yeah, we had a 10-car wreck.
Oh boy, and around goes Ty Dillon.
A bunch of them. Christopher Bell, Blaney, Almirola is around.
Yeah,
that was pretty nuts. It took out my race pick, Tyler Reddick, which, go figure, every time I pick Tyler Reddick, he does crappy. I don't even think he was doing that well in the beginning of the race anyway. He probably wasn't even going to win. So what was the point of me picking Tyler Reddick? I don't know.
Kevin Harvick was really strong today again. He finished 5th. I know he led 5 laps, and this was actually his 750th career consecutive start, I think.
Yeah.
So that's
and
really,
he's
really
like what, 3rd on the all-time Ironman list, or he's getting up there to be 3rd?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I saw Hamlin up there in front a couple of times today in today's race as well. So,
all right. So now we can take a look at what you guys had to say. 50% said great, 40% said good, 10% said mess/okay, and nobody said bad. Let's see. The _motorsports _ says good racing. Henry24257 says it was a very good race. Sad that Auto Club is getting downsized, but an 8 out of 10. Yeah. Obviously Auto Club has basically been confirmed to become a Bristol and Martinsville hybrid, which
for real.
Which I don't know how I feel about that. Because on one hand, it sounds like a pretty cool track idea on paper, but why Auto Club? Auto Club has not produced that really much bad racing. If you want to do that to another track, you should do it to Texas. That track has been producing bad racing for at least 6-7 years now or something like that. So I think Texas really needs to be done something to, not Auto Club.
I'd rather them do it to, I'm just going to be real with you. I'd rather them do that to either Kansas or Las Vegas than Texas, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, they're turning it into a small track, and they're not having any races there on the schedule next year. So 2025 is when we're going to see the layout.
Yeah, I actually like the way Auto Club was or is now, and I wish it would stay, but things happen. It might be better than what we were expecting, and if that is, then I'll come on this podcast and formally apologize. Until then, though, screw
I
that.
mean, it looks kind of cool. It's literally a rip off Martinsville, and that's gonna have Bristol's banking, I think. So that sounds kind of cool on paper, but we'll see what happens.
I saw an interview. I think I forgot who it was, but maybe it was Truex who said
Oh,
they
yeah.
were asking what his thoughts were on the loud. He's like, "Oh, they're just building another track for us to smash up a bunch of cars or whatever."
Go away,
Yeah,
allegedly.
they're gonna tear it down and build something so we can all just crash into each other, probably.
Oh, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That was
Yeah.
funny. I saw that. All right. Driver of the day, Kyle Busch. Well, let's see. He did come back from a speeding penalty late, or not late, excuse me. He came back from a speeding penalty early in the race. But Ross Chastain looked more like the dominant car. So I don't really know how I feel about Kyle Busch being the driver of the day. I mean, I kind of want to say him, but Chastain was more the dominant car.
Here's my thing. I think I will give it to Kyle Busch today just off the fact of him breaking that record. That's a monumental moment.
True.
For that, I am going to give him it. But I would say on any other normal race, I'd 100% give it to Chastain. I thought he was the dominant car. He had the better speed. He was handling that car great. So, yeah, no, I don't think.
I was thinking, Brad Keselowski would be someone to nominate for this because he did spin out early, and he came back, finished 7th.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's kind of hard to choose. I mean, Kyle Busch did start 21st, so I'd probably give him that just because he started further on back. He came back from the speeding penalty, but Chastain definitely did lead the most laps, but Busch finished 7 seconds ahead of him. So I'm going to say Kyle Busch is driver today.
I guess I'll say Kyle Busch, but I forgot about Brad Keselowski. That's a pretty interesting stat. So I guess we can talk about meme of the week.
Ooh, memes of the week. Well, we got a couple of them. I'll pull them up for y'all. A couple of them were actually from Twitter because the Instagram memes this week were kind of dry. They honestly were. There wasn't hardly any of them. So first up, we got from NASCAR Memes IG. This one is about the Tyler Reddick car, which honestly, I didn't like this scheme, and I know a lot of people didn't really like it either. So, yeah, basically, it's a little bit of a disappointment. The comparisons, I don't really like that car at all. And then Trepidation had a similar meme about that scheme as well with SpongeBob. That was pretty funny. If you haven't seen that, there it is. We also got
Ain't on anything but the flapping flotsam. What's that?
Toyota watching Kyle Busch celebrate victory lane at Auto Club. Priceless reaction. Another one from NASCAR Memes IG, but this time on Twitter. Tony Stewart in the booth watching half the team go to the garage with one crash while third is running around with engine problems. And then the probably one of the funniest ones I saw was from Denny Delivers YT on Twitter. And this was Kyle Busch wins at Auto Club, and it shows a picture of Joe Gibbs with his mouth open, and it says he realized he got played. I just thought that was kind of funny because, what happened with Kyle Busch at Joe Gibbs. So that's a little bit of a meme recap. There wasn't a whole lot of good ones this week, but maybe that'll change.
Yeah, I think the funniest one, in my opinion, was probably the Toyota looking at Kyle Busch win.
I have to agree, Cam. That was definitely the funniest, with the Denny Hamlin one being second, or the Denny Delivers one being second. But I do want to talk about this Tyler Reddick car a little bit. This car is horrible. Okay, this is the worst scheme of the season, and we're already like 2-3 weeks into it. What is this abomination, bro? Like, Monster has this like cool can. You can do so much with it. Like, it's Monster Beast. It's like Monster, but with a little bit of alcohol in it. And like, they could have done so much more. They could have made the car a little bit more green, but no. They decided to go with this plain black scheme and then just like alternate logos. Monster, you guys are such an L. You don't produce 164 die casts. I don't even think they produce die casts really that much. Let's see. You do these crappy cars when you have so much other cool stuff that you could do with your cars. And yeah, this scheme is just an L. I hated it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm looking at it right now. That's why if you guys see my angle, I'm all like wonky. Yeah, that car is just horrible. It represents Tyler Reddick's career.
Ooh. He's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah, I mean, that represents his expectations of that represents the disappointment of how everyone will feel that is 23XI stands when at the end of the year when they think that 23XI is going to be good and they're not. That's literally what they're going to feel like. It's literally the definition.
Yeah,
right.
And then no,
Sorry, go ahead,
no, I was to say that scheme is just a monstrosity.
It's awful.
Yeah,
bro.
I know this is a podcast about stock car racing, but can we talk about how weird the weather's been lately? Like, I just want to mention this. So it was like 80 degrees earlier this week here in North Carolina, and then all of a sudden it gets to 40 this weekend and cold and rainy. And then, of course, California, we saw snow. So, there is Mountains Behind Auto Club, but it's just really weird weather. It was like 20 or so in Michigan earlier this weekend, too. And then some parts of the South was hot, like 80s, and then went cold again. What's going on? I thought that the groundhog said we would have more weeks of winter. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I tell you, up in Ohio, it's been wild. But I mean, we're used to stuff like that anyways, because it's Ohio, right? Everything goes down in here. But
Ohio, for real.
Shut up,
yeah.
Christian.
Maryland's been really weird as well. We had a day in the 70s. I think Thursday we were in the 70s. Friday was a little more cold, and then Saturday it snowed actually up here. And then today wasn't too terrible. I think the high was like 54 or something, but it was really nice, really sunny, beautiful day outside. And yeah, seeing snow in California, I meant to say this earlier, it was really, really weird. I don't really know too much what to say about it, but it was definitely odd. So yeah, I guess now we can do our picks for next weekend, which is going to be Las Vegas. Kicking things off with the truck race. Kyle Busch is doing the triple header. So for the truck race, I will go with him, Kyle Busch.
Now, what's some of your predictions for the race, though, Mike? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Like in the truck race or like the cup race?
Yeah, like what do you think is going to happen? Like,
so I think in the truck race, I feel like it will just be a typical truck race at Las Vegas. I don't really know too much to say about it because it's not, I would say boring, but it's not going to be as eventful as some other races.
Gotcha. For the truck race, I want to pick Kyle Busch, but at the same time, I don't want to do the same picks as everyone else because there's a lot of that last season. So for the truck race, I had a couple people in mind. I had Christian Eckes in mind. I had Ben Rhodes in mind. I even had Corey Heim in mind. But you know who I think is going to win on Saturday? I think that is going to be Derek Kraus. I think he finally breaks through.
Christian, do you remember the points league? You just got your freaking 0 back, and now you're picking Derek Kraus.
Do I care? No. I want to see that car in victory lane, and I think that in the sun, that car looks beautiful, and it can win.
Oh, God,
I'm sorry,
Christian.
but I think Derek Kraus is going to win, and if he doesn't win, of course, it's going to be Kyle Busch. You heard it first here. If I'm wrong, I could be fine with trolling because you know what? It's not a life or death decision at the end of the day. It's for fun. So
I am trolling you so hard next week when Kraus wrecks and you get no points and you're back to
negative. I care? No.
And then you're back to negative.
I told you I don't care.
Dude, the problem with Christian,
I'm not betting money on it.
Dude, the problem with Christian is every time he's like, I could have picked this person, but he goes, you know who I'm gonna go for? And I see that smirk in his face, and I go, oh god, like
Here we go again.
yeah. Well, I am gonna go with Kyle Busch. I do think he's gonna pull it off, and
Of course, he picks the same pick as Mike.
I listen. Me and Mike already had this talk. I was gonna go with Kyle Busch anyways, but I will say if I had to pick someone else, like originally before I was gonna pick Kyle Busch because I found out he was in the race. Because mind you, people, we're going for points here. All right, there's high stakes in this game. Is I was gonna say Christian Eckes, as Christian was gonna say, because he's always ran pretty good.
I was gonna say Carson Hocevar, but then I remembered he was doing the triple header because Kyle Busch had like a shirt that said he was doing it. But
You know what?
yeah, I guess Carson Hocevar is my backup.
Screw it. I'm going Christian Eckes. Screw you and your Kyle Busch pick, Michael. Now you look like the worst out of all of us.
Ah, no, I'm gonna give 5 points and you won't. So eat crap, Cam.
Take the easy way out, big guy. Take the easy way out. It's all
All
right.
right, you know what? You know what? Since you're saying that, I'm gonna change my pick to Carson Hocevar.
All right.
Then I'm going to
There you
change my
go.
pick
Let's
to
do
Kyle
it.
Busch.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to change my pick to Kyle Busch then. Fair trade?
Fine. Fair.
Thank you.
All
Okay.
right. So
Yeah,
now
Christian,
that we all
What did we
swap-
just do? Like, what is this? The NBA All-Star draft where we trade picks? I don't know what's going on here. Anyways,
I don't know. Screw it. Screw it. We didn't think of these rules through enough. Now for the Xfinity race, I am gonna go with Kyle Busch. For real this time. I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch.
Last year's Xfinity race wasn't too bad at Las Vegas. Maybe it's worth watching. Oh wait, I don't have that channel. I was thinking Kyle Busch because he's won here a lot in the Xfinity Series and Trucks and Cup, and he was the guy that I was thinking of even before Mike made that prediction. So I'm going to say Kyle Busch wins the Xfinity race. Why not?
See, now, I'm going to say Brandon Jones.
Not bad.
Yeah,
That's not awful.
No,
right.
I mean, I think it's different, and he ran pretty good. So I was like, might as well just go for it.
I could see a collie car leading laps in this race, but I think Junior Motorsports will mainly be up towards the front because they're pretty solid on a 1.5 mile tracks. But I think Kyle Busch will just outlast one of them.
Right. I can agree with that, definitely. All right. And now for the Cup race. This is going to be somewhat of a bold pick because, Christian, you just talked about them earlier. But I'm going to say Bubba Wallace wins at Las Vegas. Look, here's the thing. He did really well when he was battling with Larson, right? And he's been strong on 1.5 miles. He's been strong so far this season on both races besides his engine failure. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bubba Wallace gets it done.
Matter of fact, I'm being so cocky. I think Bubba Wallace is going to wreck next week.
Oh, you think he's going to wreck?
I do. I really do.
I mean, look, guys. Look, I got to make it fair on you. I took a 12-point lead on you guys, so I got to try to make it fair. So
Yeah, on week 1, Mike, there's 36 races or 34.
But I'm at a 12-point, right? I'm at a 12-point lead, and I'm trying to make it fair on you guys.
Hey, guess what? 11 points, baby. 11 points.
Yeah, because Tyler Reddick wrecked. Thanks, Reddick. I always pick you, and you do crappy when I pick you.
Who you going for, Christian?
Considering how weird Las Vegas has been lately, yeah, I have no clue. I was thinking Larson because I picked him to win one of the races last year. I think he won the first Las Vegas race. I picked him and he won. So I was thinking him. I was thinking of Blaney, but then again, Blaney's been so far to start the season. 2 wrecks already. I was thinking Denny maybe, but I'm not going to. And this is going to be a bold pick. I think that he's going to end a losing streak. I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski to win at Las Vegas.
That's not horrible.
Not bad. No, that's not bad. I could see it. I could see him doing it. All right, y'all ready for mine?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Denny Hamlin. All right.
I think
Denny Hamlin.
You know what, Cam? I'll be a little unbiased here. I think you have the best pick of the 3 of us.
I think Denny I think Denny Hamlin's gonna pull it off. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? He's gotten a couple wins, and he's usually good at tracks like Las Vegas. So I was like, I think he could pull it off.
Knowing Keselowski, like every time, like I think he's going to do well, he wrecks. I have a feeling that could happen. If he doesn't win on Sunday, he's going to wreck. I could see Hamlin winning this race for sure. Bubba, like Mike mentioned, it's not honestly it's not a pick. I was laughing a lot, yeah, because it's just random. I just don't see Bubba winning at Las Vegas. But I mean, to be fair, he did run well there. I just don't think he will be contending. I see him in the top 10 at some points. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe we'll have a good Las Vegas race this year. I don't know. Last couple of years, it's been mid, if anything. I'm not a huge fan of the track, but yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about Las Vegas and who y'all have winning as well.
Oh,
I
and
think
by the
it'll
way,
be a pretty solid race,
I just wanna
personally.
say another
Sorry,
person.
King.
No, you're good. I just want to say another person I think that could do like I'm not gonna say he's gonna win. I just say I think he's gonna do good at Las Vegas is Eric Jones.
What
Now
about
Eric Jones, definitely
Yeah.
strong.
he's a little. Listen, I'm telling you, man. I think he's got something. I think he's gonna get him a win under his belt today. This year, I think he is.
Yeah.
100% think he will. So yeah, Eric Jones definitely think he's gonna do good this year.
Now, what
Yeah.
about Daniel Suarez at Las Vegas? I feel like he could do pretty decently there too. I think he's someone that could be a little bit like a surprise.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then another person I think is kind of like an obvious in my opinion, but Bowman. I think Bowman can do pretty good.
Yeah.
He
I
did
believe-
good
I think
today.
Logano and Chastain will do really well as well.
Yeah.
You know, I
So
picked Bowman to win at Auto Club, and he did pretty strongly. I think he finished like 8th, but he was up the top 10 almost the whole race. And I know a lot of
Right.
people were not thinking he was going to be.
yeah. So I guess with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials. Join the Nasboys Fantasy League. And we will see you guys in the next episode. And remember, make NASCAR fun again. Peace.
So, yeah, peace.
You want me calling now? You wanting what I think? All these women lie.